Today, DJI just announced this little beast right here, the Mini 3. It's basically a stripped down, more budget-friendly version of the Mini 3 Pro. And the question obviously becomes, is it any good? And what is really, the difference between this one and the Pro version? And then what is probably the most important thing, I'm trying to zoom in here for a dramatic effect. Do I recommend it?
So the Mini 3 can film 4K footage up to 30 frames per second with a max bitrate of 100 megabytes per second, and honestly I'm really impressed by the quality of the footage. It's also super small and lightweight with a long flight time of 38 minutes and 58 minutes if you get the Intelligent Plus battery. That's a long time, It can also flip its camera between horizontal and vertical with just a click of a button. And in all honesty, this is a super unique feature that I personally really like.
Alright, so what is really the difference between these two drones? They are very, very similar, as you can see, but there are some things that make this one, the Mini 3, a little bit cheaper, because else, why would they make two of them, They have the same camera, and when I first tried this tiny one out, I was just blown away how good the camera is in this small of a body. And for the type of work that I'm doing, that's mostly like social media based and YouTube kind of content, I don't need anything better than this. It's sick. And for photos, the Pro version can take 48 megapixels and those pictures look pretty nice. However, although this is the same camera, the cheaper version can't do 48 megapixels. Also, the Pro version can film in the Cine-like, which allows you to color grade the footage and retain a little bit more dynamic range. So if that is something that you like, then the Pro version does have that, which this one does not really have. Now what's arguably, such a hard word, arguably, say that with the rolling R's with Now what's arguably the biggest difference, between these two drones is the fact that Alright, so before we go any further, I just wanna tell you guys about today's sponsors, which is myself. Yes, you heard correctly, I am actually sponsoring my own episode. If you're looking to up your video game and instantly make your footage more film-like, then I got your back. I spent so much time hand-making this film grain pack. It is over 20 different digital assets, film grains, film dust, flicker effects, you name it, you have it there. Super easy to use, and there comes also a little video tutorial showing you how to do it. And yeah, if you wanna level up your production and support me at the same time, then big thanks for that. Biggest difference, between these two drones is the fact that the cheaper version doesn't have any sensors at all. It's stripped down of all sensors, and that could, be a little challenge if you're very, very used to, like me, flying with drones with, sensors.
What happened?
They crashed it. Not even a single scratch. As you can see, that was a very close call. I managed to crash it because I've been flying drones since 2016. I bought the Mavic 1 in 2016 and been flying for many, many years. I've flown here on the channels, I've done professional work, I've done a lot of drone things, I'm just so used to always having these sensors telling me if I'm somewhere close to something so I can stop, or even sometimes the drone stops itself. This one doesn't really have that. Now these are the key differences. Also imagine if I would film all my vlogs in this. What I'm trying to say is that both of these drones are sub 250 grams drones, which is tiny. They basically fit in my pocket and they can film high quality video. They're very, very capable of getting good videos and photos, which blows my mind every time that I'm flying one of these to just see how far this technology has come. These are flying cameras, damn it, If we ask myself the question, do I recommend it? Then yeah, I obviously do recommend this drone. However, if you get the Mini 3 Pro, I do like this one more, not just because you have some other options like 48 megapixels, so you can film in the Cine-like, but I personally like the sensors a whole lot. So if you have the extra money lying around, then I do recommend the Mini 3 Pro. However, I'm also very much appreciate the fact that DJI makes a drone like this that is more budget friendly for those of you who like. So if you don't care about these things that I told you about, then by all means, go for this one. You're gonna have a blast. It is really, for being a drone of this caliber, it's pretty cheap. Just be mindful to watch the drone at all time. It doesn't have any sensors at all, and then you're gonna be fine. Now, if you want to see what's hands down the sickest drone footage that I've ever seen in my life, then my friend crashed a drone into an active volcano, and somehow the drone survived.